There were some genuinely concerning news items yesterday related to the elections, and one of them came out of Ron DeSantis's Florida as well as Missouri. Washington Post reports Florida, Missouri tell Justice Department voting monitors to stay outside of polling places. Federal monitors would need local permission to observe activity inside election sites. The administration of Governor Ron DeSantis has refused to allow Justice Department election monitors to go inside polling locations in South Florida, saying in a letter it would be counterproductive and potentially undermine confidence in the election. Monday, the Justice Department had announced it would send monitors to 64 jurisdictions nationwide, up from 44 in 2020, to evaluate how are elections being conducted amid a wave of threats to workers working at elections, politicians, and allegations of voter intimidation. Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties were slated to receive Justice Department Civil Rights Division monitors. Florida federal monitors were sent to some Florida localities in 2020, but they stayed outside because of the pandemic. Brad McVeigh, the chief counsel for the Florida Department of State, said in a letter, those monitors will not be allowed inside polling places under Florida law. McVeigh said the Florida Secretary of State's office, overseen by DeSantis, would instead send its own monitors. Right. DeSantis is on the ballot. It's totally logical to send DeSantis's own monitors to make sure everything is on the up and up. That makes sense, right? That makes a lot of sense. Now, there is a debate here as to whether DeSantis has the authority to stop the monitoring. And what the Washington Post article says is, while the Justice Department is permitted to place monitors inside polling locations, the department must receive permission from local election officials. The Justice Department has said it followed standard procedure on Tuesday, has monitors outside polling locations in Florida and Missouri, where state officials said they would not be welcomed inside. This is not some big smoking gun. It's just another example of how the right is all about. We need monitors. We need observers. We need this, that, the other thing. We will train you to become such an individual. Oh, the DOJ wants to send monitors. Oh, no, that would be counterproductive to have them inside. I thought more monitoring is good. And it's just another little data point about how their principles are worthless. Monitoring elections is good if it's their monitors, if it's their organizations. But if it's the DOJ, all of a sudden, we don't need that. It would be obtrusive. It would be counterproductive. Not a surprise that as soon as it's inconvenient, they abandon their so-called principles. Before you go, if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can click the subscribe button below or above or wherever it is on your screen. And if you want to support my work even more strongly, the best way is to get a membership at joinpacman.com and subscribe to the podcast for The David Pakman Show. There you can check out interviews, longer clips, and much more. It's on all the big podcasting platforms. Just search for The David Pakman Show, and all the links are also down below in the video description.